Podcast that you're listening to is being presented to you in cooperation with the SJ Network. If you're a person who'd like to appear on a podcast, contact Stephen Joyner at s-j-network.com. Let's get on with the show.
Today's episode of The Sherpa Screening Room features an interview with actor and musician Dave Shecter. Dave also produces his own music videos.
Speaking of music, did you know that Mozart killed all of his chickens?
Why would he do that?
They kept running around, going bark, bark, bark.
Attention, rebels of the Sherpalution. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. We would like to give you a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial simply by heading to www.audibletrial.com/Sherpa. There are over 180,000 titles of audiobooks and podcasts, including this one, to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And now, the one and only Mr. Bruce will lead you into the Sherpa Chalet. As a reminder, you can save even more money on your Sherpa Chalet vacation by cancelling your trip and staying home.
Coming to you from Sherpa Chalet in beautiful downtown Mount Podcastia, it's time for entertainment interviews in the Sherpa Screening Room. Grab an aisle seat and a bucket of popcorn, but don't crunch too loud or you'll miss the show. Now, here's your host, Jim, the podcast Sherpa.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, creatures of all kinds, whoever can hear the sound of my voice, I need help. The voiceover bots have taken me hostage. I tried to bring the Sherpa some lunch one day, and they threw it back in my face, saying that he doesn't deserve food. They said my restitution would be this intro. It seems the Sherpa wanted to get rid of his voiceover bots, so he tried to build his own Death Star. Well, while doing so, he mistargeted and got his throat instead. Apparently, it gave him laryngitis. And that is why I am being forced to be a sub-Sherpa. Well, that's enough about Jim, the podcast Sherpa. I can just hear you asking, who is this character? So let me talk a little bit about myself. My name is Mike, and I am the sub-Sherpa. My tastes in music, movies, and literature run the gamut. They are truly eclectic. I am a published poet, and I am a super fan of the Sherpalution. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome to the Sherpa Screening Room, a presentation of Too Many Podcasts, where you get to listen to interviews of people in the entertainment industry. This week's guest is actor and musician Dave Shecter, who has done numerous indie movies and television shows. Dave also is a musician who has directed his own music videos. He also talks about the importance of owning a police car and why people love sad songs. Believe it or not, the Sherpa and his bots have been the subject of many a sad song. Maybe Dave will talk about those.
Hello there, Rebels. Welcome to the Sherpa Screening Room. My guest today is a gentleman who's been everywhere, as Johnny Cash once sang. He's been on all sorts of different coasts. He's coming to us from the left coast, as they call it. His name is Dave Shecter. He's an actor, a writer, a director, and a musical performer who's got some music videos out there, too. And I believe he directs his own music videos as well. But we're going to get to know him a little bit, and I'm sure you're going to be pretty interested in what you're going to hear. Dave, welcome to the Sherpa Screening Room.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad to be here. Appreciate it.
So you're not originally from Seattle?
No, I've been here for, I think I moved out here in the 80s, 88 to be exact. Yeah, but I'm not originally from here, no.
So you said you were telling me you were born in Texas and then you moved to Michigan, so you hopped around with your family.
Yeah, actually I was born in Memphis, Tennessee.
Ah, okay.
And we moved to Texas shortly after that. So I consider myself from Texas. So I spent most of my childhood there in Austin, which is a great, beautiful town. And then, like I said earlier, my dad actually took me up to Michigan where the rest of our family was, grandparents and things. And I think that was in 1976, if I remember correctly. It was quite a change going from the heat of Texas up to Michigan where I had never seen snow. and it was in the dead of winter too. So it was like, whoa, this is a shock. But I had a great time. Yeah, we moved up there, and I went to high school there, and spent most of my teenage years there. Came out to Seattle in the 80s.
I find it interesting that the locations that you just mentioned all really have their very distinct musical styles, from going to Tennessee to Texas to Michigan to
they sure
to
do.
Seattle. Is that a coincidence, or that just?
I think it is coincidence. I didn't get started into music until I was, I had, in high school, I had guitars, but I was never real serious about it. I've just messed around with it most of the time. And then it really took hold of me when I came out to Seattle. I don't think it was the grunge movement that got me going in it. It was just, I don't know what it is. I love all kinds of music. I love And then when I started playing the guitar, and then I just got into a little bit of everything and fell in love with it, and songwriting, and I branched out to the piano, and I play a little piano, and I had a drum set for a while, and I was just going crazy. But I stuck to still got piano, which I really like, and I stick to my guitars, of course. So that's I don't really know where my influence comes from. I like country, Western.
Okay.
And I like the blues from Memphis. Been to Graceland a few times, and like some of Elvis's stuff. I'm not so much into rap. I like some of it, but not a lot of it. Rock and roll is always good. Yeah. But I tend to play more mellow music on the guitar, and the music videos that I make, a lot of people say it's made them cry and stuff, and so they're kind of like mushy love songs, I guess, if you would.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to grab them by the heart, and make them cry.
I think that's what it is. I think a lot of times a sad song becomes more memorable than a happy song.
Yeah, exactly. I think so too.
I don't know why, though. Because we all want to be happy.
Well, yeah, no. It's like we don't want to hear that song again because it just makes me cry. But there's something about them. That's what movies are all about, right? The soundtrack, it really gets you. That makes you cry, and it makes you fall in love with that movie. It's like, I don't know what it is, but I love it.
It must be an interesting perspective being a songwriter and an actor, because you're really kind of telling a story, through you, but in different manners.
That's very true. Yes, I think songwriting, my songwriting anyway, some of my songs, I don't even know what they're about, but they got a good catch, they good a rhythm to them, and they got a punchline, and they've got that chorus that catches you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's big in a lot of music is the chorus, and if it's memorable, it's got to be something you remember. And then I write some of my songs about my past, which was in my early teens was pretty much a roller coaster, but some of that is in my music. A lot of it was alcohol related, meaning. In fact, one of my good friends told me once, I noticed that you mention alcohol a lot in your songs. And it's like, yeah, because I had an issue with that early on. Mm-hmm. And it's now been 21 years since I decided to just, that's enough, But yeah, I write a lot about personal stuff. And then the acting, when it comes to acting, of course, I take whatever the role is. But I have yet to get the role that I really want. So, I want to do, I'll do a lot of horror and stuff, but as far as me, I feel like I could do a lot of really kind of like emotional drama type, that type of stuff. And I haven't yet got that role, and I'm still looking for it. And I keep thinking I should just write it myself, and then do it that way. But I haven't brought out the best of my acting yet.
Okay.
And I think it's going to come when I get that dramatic role, that role where I can get angry, where I can get pissed off because I feel like that's me. That's my character, is getting pissed off and angry and stuff. And I haven't yet done that. So I'm still waiting for that perfect role, and it'll come.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Tell me how you first got involved in acting. What first triggered your interest?
When I was in high school, I did some, I joined the local model talent agency, that was on the corner of my hometown. And I never really nothing never really happened with that. I remember doing some acting in like grade school. I remember doing plays and things, but at no point did I ever say to myself, I'm going to be an actor. I want to be an actor. This is great. This is what I want to do. I never did that when I was a kid. So I did the stuff in high school. I did the middle school, the plays and stuff. And then I did some, when I went to college, I did a theater class. That was community college here was like 2010, something like that, 2009. And I liked it. It was okay. I like theater. I'd rather do film. And then I just started, I kind of went through Craigslist and I found these ads that said that we looking for ad for talent. We need some background people. And I started doing the background stuff and then started auditioning for minor roles and things like that around here locally. Independent filmmakers are quite a few around here. And so that's how I kind of started. And I started getting noticed, so to speak, around here anyway, locally. And so I started feeding off of that. And I started taking the acting classes. I did everything that I've been told to do and that I read in books. And I went to classes and training and I got my website going, did my headshots every 2 years or whatever it was. And just kind of rolled with it like that. And I'm still going. So,
yeah. And about your website, DaveShecter.com, I noticed coincidentally that you have worked with photographer Edward Dose, who was actually a guest on this podcast.
Really? Yeah. Oh, didn't he take great pictures?
He's amazing.
Wow. They are really, he is fantastic. Yeah. I love doing that with him. In fact, I want to do another one with him. That photo shoot we did was me and Amy Del Lorenzo. And it was really fantastic. And the work he does is just great. He needs to be, bigger than he is. And I just think his time's coming. Yeah. He's certainly got an eye for it.
Yeah, and we talked about that. I think sometimes it's just maybe something you're born with, and it's not necessarily a skill that a person can develop all the time. I think some people they can just pick up a camera and they just know when to take that right photo at the right moment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and like you said, a look at his website will tell you, well, that guy knows what he's doing.
Right. Yeah, he's got that book out of all his pictures in it, and it's fantastic.
You've done a few TV series.
Yes, a few, yes.
Such as Still, Evil in Law, the 206.
The crime reenactment shows.
Like a Discovery ID?
For the Discovery Channel. I did a couple of episodes of that. And then I was on Grimm for 2 episodes, which was really great. That was really a great experience for me. I enjoyed that a lot. In fact, my first time on Grimm, it was the episode was called Bad Luck. And once we finished filming, I got home, and then a few days later, they called and said that they had to cut my scene out because the film ran too long. And I thought, yeah, it is bad luck, isn't it? So,
a foretelling episode.
I still got credit for it, so that was great. And then the next one was a Bad Night. I think that was season 5, and that one made the final cut. And it's not real long, but I got to mingle with the main actors, which was really great. So it was a great experience. And I had a couple of episodes of Z Nation. You may have heard of that. Z Nation, filmed here in Washington State. They had quite a few years run there. I was a zombie, so I was considered a background, but that was another great experience. Yeah. I like to experience those things and get the feel for it. That's what I would recommend to people is you got to start doing some background stuff. It's not all that bad.
And there were a couple of parts where you had more like of a lead role as well, even in like certain like independent movies and in some shows, right? What is that like when you're making that transition, when you're going from like the background to like a speaking role where your part has even more impact? Of
course, I love to be the leading man.
Who doesn't?
That's what we all try to do, right? I want to be the leading man. It's just, I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed my time doing background, but after a while, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore because a lot of times you just sit there and you don't you'd never get out of your chair. A lot of times it's just not for me. I mean, it's a great place to start for those who are just getting started and want to see what it's all about and get a feel for it. But I didn't have a hard time transitioning into minor roles and lead roles at all. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I welcomed it. And that's what I'm shooting for still, and I always will. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I go right. I'm happy. Give me a lead role, and I'm all over it.
I know you said earlier that you said you've done like a lot of horror and scary stuff like that. Do you have like a dream role that you'd want? I mean, as a dramatic leading man, or even if it were like in a specific TV show or a movie or something like that. If you could take somebody's place in like a TV show or a movie, what would be your dream role?
That's very.
It's a heavy question, I know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So many out there. Well, a couple of my favorite movies are Reservoir Dogs. Mm-hmm. And the original Point Break I really enjoyed that because I also am a skydiver. And there was a lot of that in the film. Those type of roles and those kind of movies. Heat was a great movie, I thought. If I could be in that seat where Pacino and De Niro were in that cafe talking, mm-hmm. How could that not be a dream role? I might be too nervous to do it, but wouldn't that be great? Oh,
sure.
Man. Yeah,
opposite either actor, right?
Yeah, either one. That would be a dream role there. I'd love to be in a movie like that.
Now you just said that you're a skydiver and you've also scuba dived too, right?
Yes, I haven't done it in a while, but yeah, I did get certified.
So you are clearly not afraid of much, are you?
No. Well, yes and no. I'm finding this out as I get older.
Okay.
I love skydiving. I absolutely love falling out of a plane, and that rush is there's nothing like it. I don't think you can find anything that's more exciting. But yet, when I go up on a scissor lift, like at my job, I could do this on my real job, scissor lift 60, 70 feet in the air. I noticed I got a little shaky there.
I don't
being up that high and looking around, I was like, man. I could feel myself. I was uncomfortable, and like, this isn't right. And I think it has to do with just the fact that I'm getting older. Maybe I don't know, but I'll jump out of an airplane all day long. And scuba diving, yeah, I don't mind. I like scuba diving. I haven't done it in years. I did it for a year or two out here in Seattle, and it's different here than it is where you would normally scuba dive, like the tropics. But I like to stay within 30, 50, even 80 feet of water. But anything deeper, and I'll start to get a little nervous. So, yeah, I do get a little nervous when I do certain things. Yeah.
At least you're not afraid to try them, though, so you got to give you that much credit. I think most people don't want to fall out of a plane or dive that deep and be looking at maybe large underwater sea life.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing too, because I have this huge fear of sharks. So it's kind of weird. But maybe.
Did you ever encounter a shark?
Oh no.
No, okay.
Nothing like that. No, but yeah, I'd like to do my own stunts in some films. That'd be fun. I'm probably getting too old for that now. My body's not like it used to be. I'm starting to hurt. Starts to hurt just getting out of bed. But yeah, I'm having a good time.
Hey, as long as you have something soft to land on after taking a punch, right? Is that?
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Back to your music now. What I know you said you like sad songs. What would you classify your music as? Would it be like country, or just like a very mellow kind of pop, or what if you're going to stick a label on? I know sometimes people have a hard time putting labels on their music.
Yeah, that is kind of tough. Well, it's not. I thought about this before. It's not. I don't think you can stick any one genre, category, or label on the songs that I write. Mm-hmm. Some of them are poppy, kind of pop songs, and some of them are country. The mushy songs, like it's just something that what they call the guys back in the day, the crooners. Mm-hmm. That might be something that they would sing, some of my mushy songs. So I don't really, I was always a fan of John Denver, and he never really had a a label.
Right.
You know, you can't stick him into any one category. He's just he has his own identity in music. He's kind of like in the category of himself is what he was. We need to come up with a name for it.
Yeah, and that's true. I think I think with his career, the country people didn't consider him country, and the pop people considered him country. Right. So, yeah, he just kind of did his own thing, and he made his mark.
That's exactly right. And I think if I ever, which I probably won't, but if I ever did do something with my music, it would be along those lines. There wouldn't be a label, a name, a category for it. It would just be another mushy song.
Mushy Songs by Dave Shecter. There's your next album.
There you go.
So you have a bunch of projects coming up. I know you said you're kind of hard keeping tabs on everything.
It's kind of cyclic. It goes up and down. You know, the waves of stuff coming in, and then you get these periods where there's nothing there, and you're like, well, what's going on here? But I have I've got something. I do my own stuff. We just released. Me and another guy started Day Night Pictures, and we're just in the infancy of that. We did 2 short films, and we're now finished the script on our first feature. We're going to start shooting that in, I think it's after the first of the year, January, February, here in the local area, Northwest here in Seattle and stuff. We're excited about that. Our short film we just released. In fact, we just started submitting to festivals today. He's at home probably doing it right now. And I just started this afternoon submitting, and it's called Disconnected. It's a 26-minute short film where I play a cop. I always play cops for some reason.
Or zombies or vampires.
I always play the cop. But and so we hope to get some recognition from that film Disconnected that we did. It's a pretty good story. So and then I've got some stuff. I'm going to be going back down to LA in February 11th, I think it is, for a short. I think it's a 1-day shoot on a film from Chris Sanders, who's lives over in England, London. He puts out films over there, and then he does a portion of his films in LA at the Burbank studio. So I've been involved in 3 or 4 of his films, and I go down to Burbank and do that part down there for him. Mahal Empire is becoming very big in the Las Vegas and LA areas. I think they just released their 10th or 11th feature film, and I've been in 8 of those, I think. And he has another one that he's going to start filming after the first of the year, and I'm hoping to be a part of that. And we're doing some local guys up here. I'm involved in their projects. They're doing some fan films, horror fan films, and I just was cast as into their group, so I'm pretty excited about that. Because we had a really good response for we did The Shape, which was what's the guys? I get these guys all mixed up with The Mask, Halloween, and those.
Oh, like Jason?
Film. Yeah. I think it was Halloween fan film he did. It was a short film. It was a 3-part series, and he just released it for Halloween, and that got up to 50,000 YouTube hits, so he's doing really well with that. And so he decided to do Charles Lawson at CCC Entertainment decided to do another bunch of fan films, and we're going to start on that after the first of the year. So I got a lot going on. Yeah, I wish I didn't have a real job.
I know you had something coming up with Tom Sizemore, Night of the Tommyknockers.
Yeah, that just got released. Actually, we shot that in Southern Cal, near Palm Springs a few years ago. Was that 2 years ago? And yeah, they just released it on all platforms for viewing. So you can rent it, you can buy it, the Blu-ray. It's Night of the Tommyknockers. Yeah, that was with Tom Sizemore. It was a Western / a little bit of horror in there. It's getting a lot of good reviews. We had the red carpet event in Beverly Hills just 2-3 weeks ago. I was not able to attend, which really upset me because I had other engagements to go to here. So, but yeah, that's Night of the Tommyknockers. Tom Sizemore. He's a cool guy. It's my second or third film with him, and he's a really nice guy. And Richard Grieco was the lead guy.
Okay.
He was real good, real nice guy too. I really enjoy meeting these people. It's just, you watch them for so long on TV, and then suddenly you're in the same room going, wow, I remember this guy. It's really exciting.
So out of the folks that you've worked with, I mean, is there any particular coworker that stands out in the performances that you've done?
You mean stands out performance-wise, or
just memorable working with?
Memorable, yeah. Well, I really enjoyed working with Tom Sizemore. Because I was always a fan of his early work, Saving Private Ryan. He was in Heat, and he was in Point Break. All those movies, and my top 5 movies are, he was in them. So to work with him, I thought, wow, this is great, man. Never thought that would happen. But Richard Grieco was really, really focused actor and serious about the part, and I really enjoyed that, working with him. I didn't associate much with him. We didn't have a whole lot of scenes together, but I would have liked to have done more with him, hopefully in the future. I met Michael Madsen, who was another one of my idols, or whatever you may want to call it, guy that I really enjoyed watching. He was in Reservoir Dogs, of course. I met him on the set of Arena Wars, which was a Mahal production down in Las Vegas. And unfortunately, I didn't get to work with him in any scenes, but we did talk in between scenes, which was really exciting for me because he's another one I always wanted to work with. Michael Paré, I just worked with it's been about a month, 6 weeks ago now. He was here in town. But we were doing a feature here. The director needed a horse ranch, and he was in town. So the producer, Alexi Angelino, got a hold of me and said, hey, you know anybody with a horse ranch? Of course, I did. Friend has a horse ranch, and so it worked out really well. They moved the shoot over to that horse ranch, and Michael Paré was a part of that. And I got to work with him in a scene. I was a cop, believe it or not. And I worked with him. That was pretty exciting too. So yeah,
I'm thinking maybe your ideal role could be like a cop zombie or something like that.
Cop zombie, there you go. Oh yeah,
zombie force.
The zombie cop. Well, I think part of it is I'm a big prop guy. I love collecting prop, and I bought a cop car. It's a Crown Vic, the older 2009 Crown Vic.
Sure.
And bought it for filming, for just the purpose of filming. And of course, it came pretty much stripped of all the good stuff. So I had to go out and acquire that stuff, like the light bar on top and lights in the dash. And I got magnets for the doors. So it's now a cop car. And I get a lot of calls on people wanting to use my cop car. And of course, if you want to use my cop car, you need a cop. Ta-da!
So you're a package deal, right? you get the Vic and the Dave.
Yeah, you get the Vic and the Dave all in one package for a very low price. So yeah, I out here in my backyard, I built an interrogation room, and I built a jail cell. And it's kind of unique because it's all in one, and it takes me about 20 minutes to convert from one to the other.
Wow.
And yeah, and it's real. I think it's really cool. People love it when they use it. I got the two-way mirror that folds up, and I slap bars in, and I got a jail cell and move some furniture around. And I love doing that. If I had more space, I'd have a whole set out there. I love building sets.
Yeah, and some people would just be happy with a barbecue pit. You got an interrogation room in your backyard.
Yeah, that's where I take my girlfriends when I bring them over. Hey, come on to my interrogation room.
Okay, Dave. So since you are so busy with all these little movie projects and your music career as well, where can people go if they want to check out some of your stuff?
Well, my website obviously is my name, Dave Shecter. That's SHECTER.com. I try to post most of my stuff on there, pictures and reels, and some of my music videos are on there. SoundCloud.com has most of my music on there. SoundCloud.com/Dave Shecter, I think it is.
Okay.
I think, and if you go to YouTube and just punch in my name, Dave Shecter, it will bring up a lot of my music videos, the mushy ones and the country ones, all of them.
Okay.
So yeah, I can go there and check them out. So I hope someday someone really likes one of my music videos and decides to shoot it themselves. That'd be great.
Are you on any of the social pages like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or anything like that?
I am on Facebook. Yeah. I don't really know my address. Just
probably a Dave Shecter.
Punch in my name. Yeah. Other than that, I have other accounts, but it's too confusing to me. I have a Twitter and I think Instagram, but that's just too much for me to.
I'll see if I can find it and I'll just throw it on the show notes so people will know where to look for you.
Yeah, if they want to connect on Facebook, they can just send a request.
One thing that I was wondering before I let you go, have you ever played a musician in any of the roles that you've had?
I have not. No, I have not played a musician. Actually, wait a minute. No.
Okay.
I sat on stage. I made a music video with Rochelle Henry, who's a good friend of mine, very talented actress who's now in LA doing great. But we did a song where she was lip syncing and I was sitting next to her playing the guitar, and that's probably as close as I've gotten to playing a musician.
Okay.
But that's a really nice video too. So yeah, it's called Tulips of Washington.
Tulips.
We have our big tulip festival out here.
Okay.
I know. It's a song about flowers. It's kind of mushy, but
a mushy love song. What were the odds, Dave? What are the odds?
Oh, yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, his name is Dave Shecter. You guys got to check him out at his website, daveshecter.com. And you can find out about the stuff that he's been in and the stuff that he's working on. And as well, check out some of his music videos, especially if you like mushy love songs, because he will be he's going to be the king of mushy love songs. I predict, if he's not the king of the movies. You can be both. You can be the singing cop zombie of the mushy love song.
Well, okay. Sounds good. I'll give it a shot.
Now that's an Oscar nobody's won yet.
A singer of a mushy cop zombie love song.
There you go.
Perfect.
Dave Shecter, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, you betcha. That was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We're on that internet thingy at Sherpalution.com.
Thanks to Dave for coming on the show and the listeners for listening. You can hear the show on podcast apps everywhere and at the Sherpalution.com website, where all the shows are located along with the Sherpa's side projects. Follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and Sherpalution.com. Until next time, viva la Sherpalution!
Thanks for listening to the Sherpa Screening Room. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast. I'm Mr. Bruce, and this has been a Sherpalu Studios production. Viva la Sherpalution!